Quaker approach to leadership, I like to think of as if you think of a community or group as a tree, rather than thinking of the leadership as coming from the top, that it's coming from the bottom, it's coming from the roots, it's giving the community what it needs to thrive, and it's facilitating growth, but it's not directing it.
I think the Quaker approach to leadership is one that recognizes the gifts within a community and how every individual is necessary and important.
People come together and they have to actually talk and listen to each other before, so there isn't like one person who makes all the decision. That kind of that process is very important in Quaker leadership.
In my experience, leadership for Quakers is much more about community than it is about an individual. I think that when people hear the word leadership, they usually think of, one individual. And I think that Quaker leadership is so much more about building up a community.
In Quakerism, I'm constantly thinking about the many different facets of leadership rather than the more charismatic, than only the charismatic forms of leadership. So whether I'm recognizing the way that someone else is quietly guiding a community, or I'm recognizing the moments when I am quietly guiding a community, and that it's all essential and important.
I think the dominant idea about leadership is one in which the leader has a lot of power and invokes a community to move forward somehow with their power. I think what's different about Quaker leadership is that it's the Spirit moving through us, hopefully to find some kind of unity on a topic. And that's where our power is in being a reed, being a vessel, letting it move through us.
So the Quaker Leadership Scholars Program is an intentional community of Quakers and non-Quakers who want to build spiritual connections with one another and develop their spiritual connection to the divine. It's
more kind of bringing students who are interested in Quakerism and interested in community and interested about having conversation around faith, spirituality.
There's worship, but there is discussion and reflection and queries and for the purpose of growth and for the purpose of growing leaders.
In the Quaker Leadership Scholars Program, I was a co-clerk my fourth year. I learned a lot about how to listen to a group and support a collective and support a conversation and a process that helped the individuals and the collective come together and listen and process and make decisions together.
Before coming to QLSP, I grew up in Rwanda, lived in Kenya, spent some time in Uganda, and finally came to college in the US. And being in QLSP, I learned a lot about leadership. In other places, you can think of a leadership position as somebody who has to do programming or tell people what to do. I think where you truly learn about leadership in QLSP is that, especially during meetings, where you have, as a leader, you have to listen to the whole, where you have to kind of take yourself out of the equation and try to discern about just the people, the meeting, and try to get a good solution to the body, to everybody, So it's one of the most important lessons I've learned in QLSP.
I think what the Quaker Leadership Scholars Program helped to show me about leadership is that the way that I hold space in a group, the way that I am actively listening, the way that I can elder if necessary, that these are quieter, gentler ways of being a leader in a community. And they're essential just as much as somebody who might be the face of an organization or give the rousing speech.
My senior year, I remember feeling so sad that I wasn't asked to be a clerk. Not only that, that I didn't have that position, but that I didn't have the opportunity to give back to QLSP in that way. But I think throughout my senior year and leading up to now, that really informed my understanding of I would sit in the meeting house and I would pray, right? And I wouldn't have been able to do that in the same way. So I think it broadened my understanding of what it means to be a leader. And that more than being a leader, it's how can each individual think about what's best for the community? I think Quakers have a lot to teach the world about leadership. And one of those things is valuing process over the product. Another thing is building relationship with one another, getting to know each other, building connections, understanding the whole person.
I think my hope for global leadership would be that, similarly to how we do it in Quaker leadership, we're seeking what's best for everyone, for the common good, how we can move forward together, to really hear what's being said and shared and what needs to happen for everyone, where the best decision is, and to be open and willing to be changed if it's for the good of everyone.
I'm here at Guilford College in Greensboro, North Carolina, to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Quaker Leadership Scholars Program. I wanted to say thank you for watching this video, and thank you to Guilford College for sponsoring the video. If you'd like to find out more about the Quaker Leadership Scholars Program, that link is just below me. You can see all the videos we've ever released down here, and you can subscribe to the QuakerSpeak project in this link over here. Thanks for watching, and have a great Thursday.